All right, so the gaming industry has a little problem. And by little problem, I mean it's addicted to nostalgia like a raccoon digging through a dumpster full of Thanksgiving Day turkey carcasses. Every year, we get fewer new ideas and more, hey, remember this game from 20 years ago? Well, now it's shinier. So today, we're breaking down whether AAA gaming is actually becoming too reliant on remakes, or if this is just the natural evolution of an industry terrified of losing money. Like, comment, subscribe, let's get into it. Between 2019 and 2025, the ratio of new AAA IP to remakes has basically flipped upside down. Back in 2019, 2020, things were pretty balanced. You had new games like Control, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, and Sekiro. And yeah, we had remakes like Resident Evil 2 and Final Fantasy VII Remake, but it felt healthier. Now, fast forward to 2023 through 2025, and suddenly the industry looks like it's running a retirement home for old franchises. We're talking Silent Hill 2, Metal Gear Solid Delta, Persona 3 Reload, The Witcher 1, Splinter Cell, Prince of Persia, and The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Meanwhile, for new IPs, we got Starfield, Stellar Blade, and the finals. The ratio is now roughly, and I say roughly, 25% new and 75% remakes or remasters. And that's ridiculous. Now here's where we pretend publishers are mysterious creatures with unknowable motives. They're scared. They're scared of not making money. AAA budgets have exploded. A big game now costs between $150 to $300 million to make. And that's Marvel movie money. And when you're spending that much, big AAA companies don't want to gamble on a brand new idea. They want something safe, something familiar, something that already has a fan base ready to yell at you on Twitter. Remakes are predictable. They're cheaper to market, they take less pre-production, and they fill release calendars. And they keep dev teams employed between whatever new game they decide to make. In other words, remakes are like comfort food. Now, let's be fair. Not all remakes are lazy cash grabs. Some are legitimately incredible. Resident Evil 2, it's a masterpiece. The Final Fantasy VII Remake reinvented an entire classic, which I loved. I love Final Fantasy VII. It's one of my, top 3 games of all time. The others being Skyrim and Galaga. I'm a pretty basic person. When remakes are done right, they're not just nostalgia, they're modernization, and it gives a chance for new players to experience something they missed. Here's the real danger. When remakes become the main course instead of the side dish, new ideas start to disappear. AAA studios are playing it safe. Indies are doing all the experimenting. And the longer this goes on, the harder it becomes for new worlds, new mechanics, and new genres to break through. And we're already seeing it. Most of the innovation in the last 5 years came from indie games, not AAA. AAA is slowly turning into Hollywood, where everything is a reboot, a sequel, or a reimagining. Remakes aren't just nostalgia bait. They're kind of like pipeline management. AAA studios need something to ship every year. They need something to market, something to keep those big investors from panicking, and something to keep dev teams busy between massive projects. Remakes solve all of that. They're the glue holding the modern AAA industry together. So, is the AAA industry too reliant on remakes? Yes, and also no. It depends on the ratio. Remakes are great when they elevate classics. They're a problem when they replace new ideas. Right now, the balance is really off. We're getting too many remakes and not enough new IPs. And unless the budget comes down or publishers, grow a spine, this trend isn't going anywhere. And I know. We just had Summer Game Fest, and you're like, Rick, look at all the new games that are out. Yeah, it's Summer Game Fest. They're going to show new games, but look, they also showed remastered games. Code Veronica, Final Fantasy. You had stuff like that. But look throughout the year, look at the bigger picture. So, what do you think? Are remakes saving gaming or slowly choking it out? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want a follow up video breaking down which upcoming remakes are actually worth the hype, and I'm talking about normal hype, not over hype, put it down in the comments. Like and subscribe. I'm going to go replay Final Fantasy VII. All right, bye.